we began up at the head of Spirit Lake. We had my dad was a logger, and they used to have a flume. Did you remember? Well, he brought the logs down on the flume, put them in booms, and then he had a big tugboat. That's his tugboat up there.
Yeah, what was the name of it, Pat?
The Williamsport. I think that's what my brother said, the Williamsport.
And your brother
painted that.
Painted, and that's the one on the top?
It was a steamboat, so you know there was a lot of wood cutting. I can't imagine how much wood that thing burned.
Yeah, but you have vivid memories of that time living.
I think those things stay with you. You know, a lot of it I don't remember. I remember Dad coming up the lake in the steamboat, and they had a huge warehouse up there because he was bringing supplies for the lumber camps that were on up 40 and 40 Dam and 42, and so he brought supplies on the steamboat for that, and then they would come down with a horse and buggy and pick up all these supplies at the right where Ole Holman lives and Donna.
Right.
Well, of course, that house, the big house is still there where we live.
Right, the big house where you live. But your family first lived in the little cabin above that.
And then they moved into that bigger house, just a family grew.
Right, right. So I'm really curious about the lumber camps, because that's something I really don't know anything about. So you named the numbers. I love hearing that, Pat. So you named, you know, up. So the logging camps went up Rickle Creek. So do you remember which one was first, which one was second?
Well, I think the first one I remember was 40 Dam, and then I think there was a 42. But yeah, that's all that I.
Do you know why it was called 40 Dam?
Well, there was a dam there.
There was a dam there. Okay, there was a dam.
They would dam up the logs before they sent them down the flume, I suppose.
Okay. Okay, so they would hold them in a pond there, and then take them out and send them down the flume. But your dad worked. I mean, again, he was up the flume.
Yeah, he was up the flume.
And did he? So again, your dad did a lot of things.
Pardon? Did he what?
He did a lot of different. He did a lot of different things. I mean, he drove the boat. He worked up the flume. He also
he did that first, and then he bought the boat.
And then he bought the boat. Right.
So he kind of was an entrepreneur. He liked to work for himself. Although he was working for the Panhandle, they were paying him.
Right.
He was able to run his own boat and do his own thing.
So, well, that was the same. So he did two things, I understand, with that boat. I mean, he took the logs down in a boom, right? He hauled logs down, I'm assuming, to the mill pond down here.
No, he couldn't get them into the mill pond because the boat wouldn't go under the bridge. He could only take them down as far as the bridge, put them in booms, and then the mill kind of took over from there.
I see. Okay, so that's very interesting. And then he took supplies back up in the same boat, right? He took the supplies back up for the logging camps.
Yeah, for the camps up above.
Okay, so again, all those supplies were sent up, and then the logging camp people would come down and unload the boat. And how did they get the stuff hauled up to them?
Well, they had horses.
Horses.
They had horses and wagons. And you know, that was a big, at one time, that was a big CCC camp. Do you remember the Civilian Conservation Home? That was a big CCC camp. After, and I don't get quite the connection there, but I remember that it was a CCC camped up there. And
this was like where, Pat?
Way up the lake, way up 40 Dam, up in that area. Yeah.
Okay. So again, so there was 40 Dam. And then there was another logging camp.
I think there was, but I'm not just sure.